Hi, my name is Diana Fisher. I am a Society of Master Saddlers qualified saddle fitter. In this video, I'd like to talk to you about the correct fit of a saddle and how the balance of a saddle can affect the performance of the horse and the rider. So the things to look for in your own saddle, you can easily just check the panel by sitting the saddle centrally on your feet and running your fingers down the panel. You can easily feel whether you have hollow areas where the flocking has moved, or whether it's lumpy, there's a hard lump that might be affecting your horse. It might be under where you're sitting. So if you feel a lump or a divot, that would be the time you need to call your saddle fitter out to check your saddle. So I'm going to pop this on the horse's back and just speak to you about a few things you could check yourself with the balance. Good boy. I'll just turn him onto the camera so that you can see. Okay, so looking at that saddle as it is at the moment, I would say that's in balance. We're looking for the seat to be square and in balance where you're sitting. All looks absolutely fine. Now, if your saddle was tipping down backwards, I'm going to bring the saddle forwards to show you that. That is what we call out of balance. That would put all the rider's weight on the back of the saddle and put pressure where you don't need it on the horse's back. So again, that would be the time you would have to ring your saddle fitter. One of the common problems of people putting the saddles, we find people putting saddles on their backs, is to put the saddle too far forwards, which then creates that effect. This saddle actually is a correct fit for this horse, but if I put that saddle too far forwards, it makes it an incorrect fit for the horse. Puts the pressure on the back of the seat. Okay? And the same can happen if somebody puts the saddle too far back. Put it too far back, you're bringing the front down, putting all the pressure in the front, and then the saddle is not in the girth groove. So what we need to do is check that the saddle is sitting just behind the scapula and that the girth straps sit in the horse's natural girth groove. And then you've got a nice balanced saddle. So if we have the saddle sitting up at the front and down at the back, it's going to change the angle of the rider's pelvis, which in effect is then going to change the angle of the leg. So if you're sitting to the back of the saddle and it's up at the front, it's going to bring your leg forward and your buttocks are going to sit further back, a bit like an armchair position. If it's central, where it should be, and a good fit, then your leg is going to be in line with your hips, your heel is going to be in line with the hips, it's all going to be central and nice, and your centre of gravity will be correct. If it sits back, again, your pelvis will be out of alignment, your upper body will sit forward a little bit and your lower leg will sit further back. So of course you're putting your weight in the wrong place on the horse's back, which is not going to help the horse perform to his best ability. Okay, so we're looking for good clearance at the front. I can get 3 fingers in the front there easily, really good clearance, and we need to be able to see the clearance right the way from the front to the back. And that all looks good. That is something you could check yourself. If you can't see any clearance, that's really bad. Some saddles will settle a little, so you'll get a little less clearance. And again, that might be the time for your saddle fitter to come out and adjust the saddle for you. So a good way of looking at the levelness of the saddle is to put a bit of tape on the middle of the cantle, and as the horse trots away, you can see if it's sitting central or whether it's off to one side. Obviously, if a horse bends its head to the left, the saddle is going to go very slightly right. If it bends its head to the right, the saddle is going to go very slightly left.